Well, well. That was a good show. It was a good show. It really was. I mean, it delivered. It didn't disappoint. And I'm a happy man. I am a completely happy man. I am satisfied. Charlotte Flair is no longer torturing the women's division on NXT. She'll continue probably to torture other divisions, but she will not be torturing NXT and keeping that title hostage anymore. Because guess what? Io Shirai is your new NXT Women's Champion. That right there, that I can get behind, and I am 100% in agreement. I think I was 4-2 on my predictions. So, I mean, I did pretty good on my predictions, but I just got two wrong. It was the NXT title match, and it was the women's title match. So, mostly I got everything else right, besides just those two matches, but it was a good NXT takeover tonight. I love the In Your House, the old stage. I'm glad they brought that back. That was awesome. They opened the show with a 6-woman tag. The match overall was okay. I mean, it was a decent opener. I thought it was sloppy. I thought it was, you're just normal 6-woman tag. I didn't think of anything as if it was special or anything. I didn't sit there like on the edge of my seat, invested. I wasn't super invested. But the one spot I think I can think of from the match was when Tegan Knox did the somersault off the top rope onto the outside. It's just like your normal old superstar on the top rope. A whole bunch of wrestlers gather up and then take the dive off the top rope. It was a cool move by Tegan Knox, but I've seen that spot done so many times. It was just like, I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, oh, alright, whatever. But decent women's tag, Mia Yim, Tegan Knox, and Shotzi Blackheart got the win over Dakota Kai, Candice LeRae, and Gonzalez. So nothing special about that match. I can't really talk about it too much. They're probably going to continue their feud, the feud with Candice LeRae and Mia Yim, and which involves Johnny Gargano and Keith Lee. The next match was Finn Balor versus Damien Priest. This was a really good match. I enjoyed it. Definitely one of the best matches of the night. Could possibly, honestly, that might be the best match of the night. In my honest opinion, Damien Priest versus Finn Balor. And Finn Balor won like I thought he would. The match was going all over the place at some points. And then, Damien Priest, he looked strong. Like, people were kind of sleeping on Damien Priest and his wrestling abilities, and I actually knew he could do that because there was a match on, Ring of Honor 3 years ago, fall of 2017. He had a match with, I think it was fall 2017 or 18, with a match with Will Ospreay, and I can see what he can do when he worked with a guy like Will Ospreay and have a great match like that. I knew he can have a really good match with Balor if he can go like that with Ospreay. So the match overall was really good. Definitely one of my favorite matches of the night. How the ending sequence was that there's that steel step that was set on the outside. Damien Priest was on the apron. He was trying to do, he was trying to toss him over the top rope onto the steel steps, but Balor got out of it, and Balor punched him, forearmed him made him fall back off the apron, and he hit the steel steps. And then that pretty much took him out of it. Balor capitalized on it. Damien Priest tried to fight back and everything, but Balor wound up getting the win after hitting 2 de gras off the top rope. And that was pretty much it. Balor got the win just like I thought he would. And that was, really good match. I didn't think there was nothing bad about it. Balor won as I expected him to. I feel like with Damien Priest, it's this situation of that he's lost in the shuffle, and I feel like he's one of those NXT wrestlers that's at the wrong place at the wrong time. Because I feel like, he could have won this match. Balor didn't need to win. They could have gave Priest the win. Unless they have plans for Balor to go for the NXT title again, or I don't know what they have planned. They could have had him lose to Priest. I probably would have been fine with it, but I think Priest is just in that situation where it's just wrong place, wrong timing. I mean, Keith Lee was in that position when he first came to NXT. Now look where he is now. So it might be just a longer process for Priest, but I think I see a good future with him on NXT. I hope he's not called up too early, because that would be stupid. I think he's got more to prove down here in NXT. So yeah, I think Priest has got a good future in NXT. He had a good showing with Balor tonight, and I don't think there was anything wrong with the match. Balor won. I probably would have preferred Priest, but it was nothing to like knock my head over. Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano was a really good match. I thought it was a great match. It was not match of the night. I didn't think it was match of the night. It probably would have been better with a crowd. Like I told you guys in my predictions yesterday, Keith Lee and Johnny Gargano probably would have been better with a crowd. It does not fit in this setting or in this environment. It does not benefit this environment. The spot of the night, this was probably the spot of the night, is like, if you guys remember when Keith Lee barged into Adam Cole and threw him into the crowd. Yeah, so Johnny Gargano pretty much got barged and thrown right out of the crowd into the plexiglass or whatever that's covering the audience, and he went through it. That was probably the spot of the night. That was a cool spot. There was one funny part before the match where Johnny Gargano was coming from the stage off the stage, and he put his key in his trunks. I was like laughing at that for some reason. I liked how he came through the actual door of a house. That was kind of cool. The ending sequence, Johnny Gargano tried taking advantage of the car keys into the eye. I actually thought Gargano was probably going to win. I feel like I was the only one that felt like that Gargano did not need to win. I didn't feel like Gargano was going to win. He was already North American champion. He could have won it, but I just didn't see it, and I just didn't feel it like I wanted him to. I feel like Keith Lee can still continue his reign. And like I talked about yesterday, and how I kind of like the idea popped in my head in the middle of the predictions yesterday. Keith Lee could be losing the title to Karrion Kross. Because I feel like if you want to get to the world title, go for the mid-card first. Have a mid-card title run, and go for the NXT title later in your NXT career. So we'll see where that goes. But Keith Lee retained the belt. He wound up winning. He was playing the injured hand the entire match, which I like. I like when you play an injury, because sometimes wrestlers tend to forget, and then they don't sell the injury anymore in the middle of a match. But I like that. Keith Lee wound up getting the win, retaining North American title. Really good match. So I suggest you guys go check that match out if you like. Definitely, I love this spot where Johnny Gargano went to the glass as well. So that was a really good match. The next match is the Lot Brawl. I can see why. Okay, my original reaction to when this match didn't main event was, oh my god, they're having the women's title main event because Ric Flair's got the documentary out right now, and Charlotte's gonna win the main event. I'm like shitting my pants right now because I do not want Charlotte to win, and especially in the main event. I wanted this to be the main event. Well, I can see why this wasn't the main event. It was not the time or place for Dream now. I can see that. And I kind of wasn't sure if I wanted him to win the belt, and I'm kind of glad Cole kept the belt now. I'm glad it went to the right decision, the safe decision, because we don't know what's going on with Dream's allegations right now. I'm glad they stick with Adam Cole, and I'm glad his reign is continuing. Now, who would he lose the belt to? I honestly have no idea at this point. They could do Ciampa, but I don't think they will, because he just got the fucking shit beaten out of him tonight. So I'm going to say that, I don't even know what to say. I don't know who Cole's going to face. We're just going to have to wait and see. I think that's the unpredictability of it, because we don't know where they're going with Cole next after what happened with this Lot Brawl. They could do Dream for the third time, but I don't know if there's a reason for them to continue it after this, so we'll see what happens. There was a really cool spot so Cole came out in like a monster truck, which that was awesome. Like, that's like GOAT status right there. My boy Adam Cole coming out in a monster truck. That was a cool entrance. And then Dream came out in a Ferrari, and Dream's dressed up as Negan, which that was amazing. 'Cause I'm a big Negan fan. I used to watch a lot of Walking Dead. I haven't watched this season though, which, I don't know why. I just haven't been very interested to go watch it, but I'll try and watch it again. But I did watch seasons 1 through 9, so I'm a big Negan guy, and I love Negan. I love the Negan character from Walking Dead, and I love that Dream was dressed up as Negan. That was the highlight of my night. The weird part was like Negan coming out of a Ferrari. That's just kind of weird, but that was cool. The match overall was really good. It was probably one of the weaker cinematic matches in my opinion. It was definitely not the most interesting cinematic match. I didn't think it was over the top. It wasn't like the other cinematic matches that I have seen in the past. So, but I really enjoyed it. The one spot was where Dream was on top of a ladder and he fell backwards onto a front car window, which that looked brutal, and his arms like bleeding on the back, like in the back of his tricep. It was kind of bleeding a little bit. So that was a brutal spot, cool spot as well, but brutal. They were brawling all over the place. They were kind of like trying to get in the buildings. Adam Cole took the fire extinguisher out. They made a reference to Shawn Michaels' fire extinguisher spot against Diesel. And, yeah, that's one of the other spots I remember. And they brought Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong interfered later on in the match. They put chairs in the middle of the ring, like an ECW style. Then they were trying to beat down Dream. Dream fought him off, couldn't fight him off. So then Loomis shows up, and Dexter comes from under the ring, and I was actually not surprised. I was actually expecting him to come from under the ring and put him in a car and drive off with them. It was very predictable that Dexter was going to show up. The one thing I did not like about this match was how predictable it was, because you knew that Dexter Loomis was going to show up and take out the Undisputed Era. You knew the Undisputed Era was going to show up. You knew Dexter was going to show up. Then Dexter was going to take him out of the arena. And then it was going to end with the final two with Dream and Cole. So Cole and Dream are the last two in the ring now. They're fighting off. The ending of the match, Cole did a Panama Sunrise onto Dream, onto the chairs. And I think he hit a low blow before this too. Dream was telling him Dream over, but Adam Cole hit the low blow and took advantage, and that's when the Panama Sunrise went onto the chair. 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole got the win and retained the championship. Definitely one of the weaker cinematic matches. It was good, but I didn't think it was anything that I would go watch like 5 times like I did with Taker and AJ, or or other cinematic matches, or Final Deletion, or all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I think this was a really good match, but I'm kind of glad it didn't main event now. Looking back, I was pissed at first, but then I was like, okay. So I'm kind of glad this didn't end the show, because if you're gonna have Dream win the belt, then you have to want it to end the show. But I'm kind of glad it was definitely not Dream's time, and I'm kind of glad they didn't. We don't know what's going on with Dream and his allegations right now. So a good thing to stay with the safe bet, which was Adam Cole. Next was Tommaso Ciampa versus Karrion Kross. This was total destruction at Tommaso Ciampa. Really good match for the short time it was, but Karrion Kross was dominant for most of this match, through and through. That's how you should book a monster like Karrion Kross. And he wound up getting like a wear a naked choke on Ciampa, and Ciampa would pass out, and Karrion Kross would get the win. I mean, he was hitting suplexes on Ciampa. He was throwing all over. He was beating the shit out of Ciampa, kicking his ass. He looked like a monster in this match. There's not really much I can say. It was just total destruction. Besides, Ciampa tried getting a little offense in, hitting the DDT off the middle rope. I mean, but it was just like Ciampa couldn't stop him, and that's a way you make a name for yourself against a big name like Ciampa in NXT. And Karrion Kross is definitely going to be the new center of that brand going forward. So the main event, happy day, guys, happy day. Actually, a good happy. It's like a celebration. Io Shirai is your new NXT Women's Champion. I'm just gonna be blunt. The match was a great triple threat match. They delivered. There was nothing wrong with the match. I enjoyed it through and through. Io Shirai looked good. Charlotte looked good, and Rhea looked good. It would have not have made sense for Rhea to win because she was already dead in the water. If Rhea won, it would have been a waste of time. It would have been a waste of time. Why would you have Rhea win after she just lost the title? She's dead. There's no point of her winning it back after she lost it. If she was going to win it back, you should have not had her lose it in the first place. I'm glad they didn't do that. Charlotte's killing the brand. I can't even wait for a crowd. Like, you gotta get the belt off Charlotte, because no one is interested in Charlotte. The ratings are in the shitter. Charlotte is not improving. The division was fine without Charlotte. You don't need Charlotte as your champion. You never did. And I'm glad that Io Shirai took the belt off. There was a spot in the match where Io Shirai was on top of the front doorstep, the house, and she dived off and landed on Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. That was a cool spot. Another spot earlier in the match was Charlotte going for a moonsault onto Io and Rhea Ripley, but it was reversed by one of the two. I think it was Io. But then Rhea Ripley was trying to take advantage. Rhea Ripley would run up in the riptide off the top rope. Middle rope. That's how she won the belt against Shayna Baszler, but Io Shirai interfered and broke it up. And the match ended with Charlotte getting the figure 8 on Rhea Ripley. And then Io Shirai was on the top rope, and Io Shirai hit the moonsault, and that's how you do a moonsault, Charlotte, by the way. Io Shirai did the moonsault off the top rope, and she landed on Rhea Ripley. 1, 2, 3. Io Shirai is your new NXT Women's Champion. Great triple threat match. Right outcome, right winner. I hope that improves the division. I hope it brings interest back to the division, because Charlotte was killing it. It was a great show. It delivered. It was definitely one of the weaker NXT takeovers, but not a surprise. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and I wasn't expecting it to be the greatest takeover of all time. But it was definitely an enjoyable show, and I give it a thumbs up in my book. And match of the night, Finn Balor versus Damien Priest. Moment of the night, Io Shirai winning the NXT Women's Belt. Or it could be Karrion Kross getting the dominant win. Who knows? But this was a really good show. I'm going to head out. Peace.